Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Grow with English. I'm Noor.
And I'm Adam. Hey, Noor, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
What did you do last weekend?
Oh, last weekend I went to the beach with my family. We ate delicious food and I took many beautiful photos.
Perfect. Everyone, did you notice what Noor just did? She talked about her past experiences in English, naturally and easily.
Yes, and today that's exactly what we're going to teach you. How to talk about your past experiences in English. Whether it's about your childhood, your old job, your travels, or any special memories.
This is super important because people always ask about your past in conversations, in job interviews, when you meet new friends.
So, if you want to speak English confidently and tell your story, stay with us until the end.
And everyone, please remember to click the subscribe button and hit the like button. It really helps us create more free English lessons for you.
Adam, why is talking about the past so important for English learners?
Great question. Let me give you 3 reasons. First, in everyday conversations, people always ask things like, where did you grow up? Or what did you study?
Right. Second reason, job interviews. Employers always ask, tell me about your previous work experience, or describe a challenge you faced in the past.
Exactly. And third, when you make new friends, sharing past experiences helps you connect with people. Stories about your childhood, your travels, funny memories, these create real connections.
So basically, if you can't talk about your past in English, you're missing out on so many opportunities to communicate.
That's why today we'll teach you step by step with easy examples you can use immediately. Ready?
Let's go. Okay, first topic, childhood. This is one of the most common things people talk about.
Yes, and the good news is childhood memories are easy to describe because everyone has them.
Let me start with a simple structure you can follow. Listen carefully. When I was young, I lived in blank. I used to blank with my blank.
Perfect structure. Let me give you an example. When I was young, I lived in Cairo. I used to play football with my friends every afternoon.
Great. Now let's break this down. Notice Adam said, when I was young. This is a super useful phrase to start any childhood story.
You can also say, when I was a kid, when I was little, as a child, back in my childhood.
All of these work. Now, the second important part, I used to. This phrase is gold for talking about past habits.
Exactly. I used to means something you did regularly in the past, but you don't do it anymore. For example, I used to ride my bicycle every day. I used to watch cartoons every morning. I used to be afraid of dogs.
See? Very simple. Now, let me give you more vocabulary for childhood activities. Repeat after me if you're watching. I used to climb trees. I used to collect toys. I used to help my mom in the kitchen. I used to read comic books.
Those are great. Now let's practice with places. Where did you spend your childhood? You can say, I grew up in a small village. I grew up in a big city. I spent my childhood in the countryside.
Important note, I grew up means where you spent your childhood years. It's different from I was born. For example, I was born in London, but I grew up in Manchester.
Perfect explanation. Now everyone, let's do a quick mini exercise.
Pause the video for a moment and try to complete this sentence out loud. When I was young, I used to blank with blank.
Say it out loud. Don't just think it. Speaking practice is super important.
For example, I would say, when I was young, I used to bake cookies with my grandmother.
And I would say, when I was a kid, I used to go fishing with my uncle.
Great! Now write your sentence in the comments below. We want to read about your childhood memories. This is real practice.
Okay, let's move to the next section.
Now let's talk about describing past jobs and education. This is so important for job interviews and professional conversations.
Absolutely. Let's start with simple phrases you can use. If someone asks, what did you do before? Or tell me about your previous job, here's what you can say.
Basic structure, I worked as a blank at blank for blank years.
Example, I worked as a teacher at Green Valley School for 3 years.
Perfect. Now let's add more details. After you say your job title, you can add what you did. I was responsible for blank, Or my main duties were blank.
Great phrases. For example, I worked as a sales manager at Tech Solutions. I was responsible for managing a team of 5 people and meeting sales targets.
Excellent example. Now, let me teach you some useful past tense verbs for describing job responsibilities. These are important for your English speaking practice.
Ready? Here we go. I managed a team. I handled customer complaints. I developed new strategies. I coordinated projects. I created marketing materials. I assisted senior managers.
Those are professional sounding verbs. Use them and you'll sound more fluent.
Now, what about education? If you want to talk about your studies in the past, you can say,
I studied blank at blank university. I majored in blank. I graduated in blank.
examples. I studied business administration at Cairo University. I majored in computer science. I graduated in 2020.
Perfect. Now, here's a very useful phrase for connecting your past experience to your present situation. Before I blank, I used to blank.
This is great for showing progression. Example, before I became a software developer, I used to work in customer service.
Another one. Before I moved to Dubai, I used to live in India.
See how natural that sounds? You're connecting 2 past experiences.
Now, let's learn some phrasal verbs related to work. Phrasal verbs make you sound more like a native speaker.
Here are the most useful ones. I took on new responsibilities, means I accepted new duties. I carried out research. I conducted research. I dealt with difficult clients. I handled difficult clients. I ended up working overtime. I finally worked overtime. Maybe I didn't plan to.
Let me use these in sentences. In my previous job, I took on the role of team leader. I carried out market research for 6 months. I dealt with customer complaints every day.
Fantastic. These phrases will make your English sound natural and professional.
Time for another quick practice. Complete this sentence. Before I blank, I used to blank.
Think about your education or job history. Say it out loud right now.
For example, before I became a YouTuber, I used to work as an English teacher.
And write your answer in the comments. We'll read them and reply. Let's practice together. Now let's talk about one of the most fun topics, travel experiences.
Yes, everyone loves talking about trips and adventures, and this is great practice for describing past events in English.
So when you want to tell someone about a trip you took, start with last year or 2 years ago, or in 2023 I went to blank, or I visited blank with blank.
Examples: last summer, I went to Thailand with my best friend. In 2022, I visited Paris for the first time. 2 years ago, I traveled to Japan.
Perfect. Now after you say where you went, add what you did there. Use these phrases.
While I was there, I blank. During my trip, I blank. We spent our time blank.
Examples. While I was there, I tried authentic Italian pasta. During my trip, I visited all the famous temples. We spent our time exploring the local markets.
Great! Now let me teach you some useful past tense verbs specifically for travel. I explored the old city. I discovered a hidden beach. I experienced the local culture. I tasted traditional food. I captured beautiful photos. I hiked in the mountains.
Those verbs make your story more interesting. Now, here's something important. When you're telling a story about the past, you can make it more exciting by using expressions like,
It was amazing. It was unforgettable. I'll never forget when. The best part was when. The most interesting thing was.
listen to this example with these expressions. Last year, I went to Iceland. It was amazing. I saw the northern lights for the first time. The best part was when we went to the Blue Lagoon. It was unforgettable.
Beautiful. Did you hear how Adam used those expressions? They add emotion to the story.
Now, sometimes things don't go perfectly on trips, right? So you should also know how to describe problems or challenges. You can say, unfortunately,
The only problem was, we had some trouble with. At first, it was difficult, but
example, I visited Spain last summer. Unfortunately, I got lost in Barcelona on the first day, but the locals were very helpful and I found my way back.
See? Even problems can be part of a good story.
Now, let's learn some travel-related idioms and expressions. These make you sound really fluent.
I had the time of my life means I had an extremely good experience. It was a once-in-a-lifetime experience means it was very special and rare. I was blown away means I was extremely impressed.
Examples. I visited the Grand Canyon last year. I was blown away by how beautiful it was. Skydiving in Dubai was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I had the time of my life when I went to the music festival.
Those expressions are gold. Use them and you'll sound like a native speaker.
Absolutely. Now, here's a really useful phrase for ending your travel story. I would love to go back someday, or I hope to return one day.
Perfect ending. Example. Thailand was incredible. The beaches were stunning, the food was delicious, and the people were so friendly. I would love to go back someday.
Practice time again. Think about a trip you took. It can be a big trip or just a weekend getaway.
Complete this. Last blank, I went to blank. While I was there, I blank. It was blank.
Say it out loud and write your travel story in the comments. Where did you go? What did you do?
We love reading your stories. Okay, let's continue. Now let's talk about important life moments. These are big events that changed your life or are very meaningful to you.
Yes, like graduating, getting your first job, moving to a new country, getting married, these kinds of experiences.
When you talk about important life moments, you want to show that it was significant. Here are some phrases to start.
One of the most important moments in my life was when... A turning point for me was... I'll never forget the day It all changed when...
Beautiful phrases. Let me use one. One of the most important moments in my life was when I moved to London to study. It was scary at first, but it helped me become independent and confident.
Perfect example. Notice how Noor explained why it was important. That's the key.
Exactly. After you describe the moment, always explain the impact. Use these phrases.
It taught me... It made me realize that... Thanks to that experience, Since then, I have been...
Examples. It taught me how to be patient. It made me realize that I'm stronger than I thought. Thanks to that experience, I became more confident. Since then, I have been more open-minded.
These phrases connect your past experience to who you are today. Very powerful for job interviews.
Now let's learn some expressions for describing difficult experiences that you overcame.
I faced a challenge when... I struggled with, but... It was tough, but I managed to... I overcame...
Example. I faced a challenge when I started my first job. Everything was new and I made many mistakes. It was tough, but I managed to learn quickly. Now I'm much more experienced.
Excellent. This shows growth and resilience.
Now, some useful verbs for describing life changes.
I moved to a new city. I achieved my goal. I graduated from university. I started my own business. I learned a new skill. I met my best friend. I decided to change careers.
All in past tense. Let's put several together in one story. Listen. 5 years ago, I decided to learn English seriously. At first, I struggled with speaking. I was shy and made many mistakes, but I practiced every day. I watched English videos, I talked to native speakers online, and I joined speaking clubs. Eventually, I became fluent. This experience taught me that hard work always pays off.
Wow, that's a complete story with beginning, middle, and end. Perfect structure.
And did you notice the time expressions? 5 years ago, at first, eventually. These help organize your story.
Let's quickly review time expressions for talking about the past. Recently means a short time ago. A few years ago means some years in the past. Back then means at that time in the past. At that time means during that period. Eventually means finally, after some time. In the end means finally.
Use these to make your story flow smoothly.
Think about one important moment in your life. Can you describe it in 2 to 3 sentences?
Use this structure. One important moment was when I blank, it taught me blank.
Share your story in the comments. We're creating a community of English learners here.
Okay, everyone, now we need to talk about common mistakes. This part is super important because these mistakes are very common.
Yes, we're going to help you avoid them so you can speak English more accurately.
Mistake number 1, using present tense instead of past tense.
This is the most common mistake. Example, wrong. Yesterday I go to the market. Correct, yesterday I went to the market.
Remember, if you're talking about the past, use past tense verbs. Practice the irregular verbs. Go to went, eat to ate, see to saw, buy to bought, make to made.
Example, mistake number 2, forgetting ago or using wrong prepositions.
Watch this. Wrong. I visited Paris in 3 years. Correct. I visited Paris 3 years ago.
Ago means before now, so always use it with time expressions in the past. 2 days ago, a week ago, 5 years ago.
Mistake number 3, using I was with verbs incorrectly.
Common error. Wrong. When I was young, I was play outside. Correct. When I was young, I played outside. Or, correct. When I was young, I used to play outside.
Remember, I was plus adjective, I was happy, or I was plus verb ing, I was playing.
Mistake number 4, confusing used to and would.
Both can describe past habits, but used to is more common and easier. I used to wake up early. I would wake up early. More literary, less common in speaking.
Stick with used to for now. It's simpler.
Mistake number 5, not using time expressions.
If you don't use time words, your story is confusing. Compare.
Less clear, I went to university, I worked at a cafe, I met my best friend. Much better, in 2018, I went to university. During my first year, I worked at a cafe. That's where I met my best friend.
See the difference? Time expressions make your story organized and easy to follow.
Mistake number 6, translating directly from your native language.
This causes weird sentences. Every language has different structures. Try to think in English, not translate.
If you're not sure about a phrase, use simple English first. Simple and correct is better than complicated and wrong.
Great advice. Now, everyone, don't worry about mistakes. Making mistakes is part of learning English.
Exactly. So the more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make. So keep practicing.
Okay, everyone, now we have a special challenge for you.
Yes, we want you to practice what you learned today. Here's your challenge.
Go to the comments section right now and answer this question. What is your favorite childhood memory?
Write 2 to 3 sentences in English. Use the phrases we taught you today. For example, when I was young, I used to...
We will read every single comment and reply to help you improve. This is your chance to practice real English writing and speaking.
And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more English learners like you.
Don't forget to subscribe to Grow with English and click the bell icon so you don't miss our next lesson.
Share this video with your friends who are learning English. Let's grow together.
Next week, we're going to teach you how to talk about your future plans and dreams in English. You don't want to miss that.
Thank you so much for watching.
Keep practicing, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye, everyone.